Okay, so starting out, we're learning how, not learning because I think we did a little bit last year when we graphed inequalities. All right, we graphed inequalities. All right, when you graph an inequality, for example, this is greater than, this is less than, and those symbols require open circles. The reason why they're open circles is because they don't equal. All right. If I say greater than or equal to, less than or equal to, that would require a what? Solid dot when you're graphing. All right. So those are the new things. All right. The next thing I need you to remember is, does anybody remember the rule for if you multiply or divide by a negative? If you multiply or divide by a negative, the inequality sign changes. The inequality sign changes. So let me demonstrate why that is. All right. So if I said 2 is greater than -3, we'd all agree with that, right? If I multiply by 3, we still get 6 is greater than -9. That's a true statement. Does everybody agree? Now watch what happens if I multiply by -2. If I multiply by -2, I get -12 is greater than 18. Is that true? No, -12 is not greater than 18. And because -12 is not greater than -18, you have to correct that. So in order to correct it, we do what to the sign? We change the sign. So -12 is less than 18. All right. Same thing if I were to divide by, let's say, -6. If I divide by -6, I get 2 is less than -3. Is 2 less than -3? No. All right. So again, the major concept here that you have to remember is if you multiply or divide by a negative, you have to change the inequality sign. Everybody okay with that? All right. So now that you understand that, when you get in higher level math, we don't really write with a number line. We write with what's referred to as interval notation. An interval notation is just the number line written without the line. And I'll show you exactly what I mean by that. But the first thing we're going to do is we're going to write it with the number line, and then we're going to write it with interval notation, and then eventually we're just going to drop writing it or graphing it. We're just always going to write in interval notation. All right? So again, let's start with number 4. All right? So everybody write down number 4. All right, here we go. All right. Yes, ma'am. I think it's a good idea to write down the question for now. See what you can do. All right, now look at number 4. All right, same situation. We're going to isolate the variable. All right, so to isolate the variable, I have to subtract 9 from both sides, right? And so this becomes -12 is less than or equal to 2/3 r. Anybody got a problem with that so far? Everybody's good? Now, how do we undo a fraction?
Multiply by the reciprocal.
Yeah, multiply by the reciprocal. So we're going to take this and we just multiply by 2/3. Multiply this side by 2/3. Yes, what I said. 3/2. Yes, it is. 3/2. 3/2. Thank you. All right, now look what happens to the 2/3 and the 3/2. They do what to each other? Come on, guys. I really mean it. It's really simple. Really simple. All right. So now I'm less than or equal to r. 12 divided by 2 is 6. 6 times 3 is 18. So it's -18. So everybody agree with that? So if -18 is less than or equal to r, that means r is greater than or equal to -18. That's how you write it. The variable traditionally is written first. All right. Now, if we're going to do this on a number line, what we do is we just tell kids, make a number line, put the answer and the opposite number. Now it's greater than or equal to. Because it's greater than or equal to, it's considered a solid dot. And then we would be going to the what? We'd be going to the right. Okay, so that's how you graph that. Yes, sir. Good job. Okay, so here, watch this. Because again, I know that's confusing. So I'm trying to show you how you should think about it reasonably so you can understand why I switched the signs. You with me? All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to say -2 is less than or equal to 0. Do you agree? So let's say I wanted to put the 0 first. What's 0 in relationship to -2? 0 is what? Greater than or equal to. You see what I'm saying, right? So that's why when you flip it around, you have to switch the inequality sign as well. It can,
Oh, never mind.
okay, you with me? All right. Now, the next thing I think that helped a lot of kids out when I was showing the interval notation is over here, this is described as what? Negative infinity. And all the way on the right is what?
Positive.
Positive infinity. All right. So where do we start at? We start at negative what? 18. All right, because we always read numbers from left to right. And we say it's a bracket because it's including -18. All right? And then it goes to what? It goes to infinity. All right? And infinity is an idea, it's not a number. We never reach infinity. That's why it's a parentheses. All right, please pay attention. Please look up. Make sure you understand it. Yes, ma'am.
How come you go to 18? Because isn't it just one on the graph?
Say that again.
How come you wrote? I get why the -18 is there, but why the
18. Because I just didn't want to put -17, -16, -15. You with me?
No, yeah, I get that, but isn't it?
The rule I tell my kids is always put the answer and its opposite, and that's it. Right? I don't want you just putting one number on a number line. You have to put two numbers on the number line. You with me? That's it. You'll see here in a few minutes. Justice, how's that? All right?
Yeah, but I have one question about the greater than and equal to.
Right.
So does that just mean on like a number line, it's so like on the -2 is greater than 0? Is it like 2 more? So,
No. That's just like an example that I was trying to show whoever I was why you switch the signs if you rotate the numbers.
okay.
So like if I said, again, I'll just give you another example. If I said 3 is greater than x, we would say x is less than 3. Those are the same thing. You with me?
Yeah.
That's all. This was just an example, all right, to try to demonstrate why I just switched the signs.
Sorry. Yeah.
All right. So here we go. Let's take a look now at number 6 and see how we're doing on number 6. All right. Now again, I do think it's important to keep the variable positive. So I think everybody here should be able to tell me we're just going to do what? Subtract 4m, minus 25, minus 25. And I'm left with negative 42 is less than 2m. Now what do I need to do? Come on, guys. What do I need to do? Not yet. I haven't isolated. Yeah, everybody, come on. Divide by 2. Everybody, we're dividing by 2. And so negative 21 is less than m. So what does that make m in relationship to negative 21? M is what? Yes. M is greater than negative 21. Now, I like Justice ask a question right off the bat. Mia ask a question right off the bat. Come on, guys. If you're not sure, don't make me get to the end now. All right? Speak up. Go. I'm isolating the m, buddy. We've been doing that since the day one. We're trying to find 1. Somebody else. Everybody good? All right, so now, if I'm doing this on a number line, now I need you to pay attention on this, please. because for whatever reason, some people earlier didn't understand this. All right, here is negative 21. Here's 21 again. I'm greater than negative 21. Is there a first number greater than negative 21? And the answer is what? Of course not. Name the first number greater than negative 21. And don't say negative 20. Because there's a lot of numbers in between negative 21 and negative 20. Does everybody agree with what I'm saying? Right? In other words, let me just try to show you something. All right? Let's see if I can draw a good enough picture. All right? Does everybody agree? All of these numbers are greater than negative 21. Does everybody agree with that? All right. So is that still greater than negative 21? Can I get closer? Can I get closer? I can always get what? I can always get closer. Right? There is no first number greater than negative 21. That's an important concept in math, believe it or not. You get to calculus, and they'll teach you exactly what that means. It's a limit, all right? You can't, there is no first number greater than negative 21. That's why you need to use a what? An open circle, and that open circle demonstrates that it's just every number up to, but not including negative 21. So we say, because we're greater than negative 21, we're going to go look like this. And that's your answer. All right? Now, where am I starting? Remember, you always read numbers from left to right. Where am I starting? That's right. I'm starting at negative 21. But do I include negative 21? No. So it's a parentheses, comma, going to where? Infinity. That's the interval notation. Good for you. What?
Why is it an open?
Open because it doesn't include. All right, it's open because it does not include. Yes,
so
sir.
we're looking for the bottom part, the parentheses with the negative 21 with infinity?
Yep.
That's what we're looking for?
That's
Okay.
it. Hello?
Yeah, then I understand it.
Okay. All right. How much you want to bring it back in here? Yes, of course. Hurry up. But you got to hurry for me, okay? 'Cause I'm trying to teach you. I don't want you behind after the first day, so you got to hustle. I'm timing you. Faster. Okay. What?
I'm still just kind of confused.
That's okay.
Open and closed.
Open means, well, let's do this. If I said to graph x equals negative 21, you just put a solid dot. That's what equals mean. Solid. That's all it means. Not equal means everything up to that point, but not that point. What?
So you don't put like a number because it's infinite in between.
That's exactly 100% correct. There's an infinite number of numbers in between negative 21 and 20. That's exactly right. All right, there is no first number greater than negative 21. And that's a hard concept, believe it or not. All right. So here we go. Let's grab 8 now. All right. Now 8 is just your ability to read, all right, and write, all right, and then solve, which I don't think it's that hard, so let's look at it. All right, come on now. All right, go. I'm listening. So how do I write that? Negative 3 what?
Oh, x
Negative 3x.
times, or no, plus 4 minus,
What does less than mean? Now you have to be careful because in the past, less than, we could have used subtraction, but in this context, less than actually just means the inequality sign less than. Good job, Thomas. You see what I'm saying or not?
yeah.
Now look, guys, I'm not kidding now. Listen, you guys got to adjust now. Come on, get up and ask your questions. Pay attention. Let's go. There's no reason. I promise you this is the easiest thing we're going to do the rest of the year. All right, super easy. If you can solve an equation, you can solve inequalities. There's just one rule you have to remember. When you multiply or divide by a negative, you have to change the sign. All right, so less than 5 times the number. How do I represent 5 times the number? Go.
5
Just 5x, right? And then what? Plus 8. That's it. That's what I want you to write down. Now we have to solve it. All right? So what do I need to do with the negative 3x? Hold up, Ian, what? Yes, add 3x. And if I add 3x to 5x, I get what? 8x. So less than 8x. Now, Ian, what do I need to do with that 8? Yes, minus 8. So what's 4 minus 8? Good. All right. Now I have to divide both sides by what? 8. Good. And now visualize 4 over 8. Come on, guys. Not 2. 4 over 8 is not even negative 2. 1/2. For those of you guys who don't see it, stop doing it in your head. Write it on paper. Divide by 8. Now, does everybody understand what I'm saying about you should be able to see that's the fraction what? 4/8, which is obviously the same as what? 1/2. Now, don't forget it's negative. Now, negative 1/2 is less than x. Therefore, x is what? Greater than negative 1/2. Come on, I don't want you behind after day 1. I don't want you behind after day 1. Go.
So when you subtract like 8, like does it matter if like you add or does it matter the order in which?
No. Nope.
Okay.
Because this is what everybody should have on their paper. But I'm thinking you guys are smart enough and you can kind of do that step.
Okay, yeah, okay.
Right? And so now x is greater than negative 1/2. So if you had to graph that on a number line, you would put negative 1/2, you would put 1/2. Now is it open or closed? It's open. Are we going to the right or are we going to the left? Okay, so everybody do that. Then you have to write it in interval notation. See if you understand what I mean about writing it in interval notation. Yes. Yeah. Watch the video. All right, so here we go. Open circle at negative 1/2. Open circle at negative 1/2 going to the right. All right. Or we say parentheses negative 1/2 to infinity. Anybody have any issues? What? Good for you.
So do you have to, because you put negative 1/2 and 1/2 on the number line?
I just do that just because you always need 2 numbers on the number line. So you always put whatever you got into the opposite. You with me now, right? It's that simple. It's all there is to it. What?
So when you write it in the parentheses, is there any way to tell that if it's like, if it's on negative 1/2 or
If it's equal to. If it's equal to, it would be a bracket here. All right, and that's what we're getting at for 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, all of those. All right, it's kind of silly because they didn't mix it up. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to mix this up for them. All right, what we're going to do is, guys, you're responsible for all these problems, right? But does everybody understand what I mean? Look at all these problems. I don't like what they did. All of these have equal to, right?
Yeah.
And some of them, and over here they don't. And they should have mixed them up. Do you agree?
Yeah.
All right. So what I want to do is I'm just going to pull the middle ones. All right. And we're going to do all of them. All right. The odds and the evens. All right. So that'll give you a good variety so you understand exactly what I mean. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab 16 and 17, pull it down. And I want everybody to do them. All right. Let's see if I've done a good job now. All right. For 16, please, let's go. What do I need to do first? Tell me, Carter, go. Subtract 6. Now, please, guys, you don't have to put minus 6 down. What's 5 minus 6? Negative 1. So I have negative a is less than or equal to negative 1. So far, so good. Now, negative just means to do what to all the signs? Change all signs. That's what it means. So the negative becomes a what?
Positive.
The less than or equal to becomes greater than or equal to. The negative 1 becomes positive 1. Come on, guys. Join the class. That's how you get smarter. Talk with me. A is greater than or equal to 1. All right, so if I was doing this on a number line, here's negative 1 and 1. All right. Solid dot at what? Solid dot at 1, and we're going to the right. There's the answer, graphically.
Why?
Good. Speak
Why
up.
start at 1?
What did you want me to start at?
I thought you were supposed to start at
Well, my answer is A is greater than or equal to 1.
You always go right?
If it's greater than, you go to the right. If it's less than, you go to the left.
But you also went right, like the arrow.
Yeah, and you know what I used to tell my kids? Hey, this tells you what direction to go. That's the arrow. That's the direction that you're supposed to go. All right. But again, I know greater than means going to the what? Right. I don't need a less than means you're going what? To the left. Because the numbers going to the left are smaller than the numbers going to the right. Do we agree with that? Come on now, I appreciate your question. Mia, you good on that now? All right, so now if we're doing interval notation, we say it starts at what? And goes to infinity. That's your answer in interval notation. Come on, come on, come on, join me. All right, some of you guys are kind of sloppy starting off. This doesn't even look like 8th grade work. What?
So would you say that the answer would be that one?
These, all 3 of these are the answer. This is the answer written out. This is the answer written on the number line, and this is interval notation. You with me? Right, the most important one, believe it or not, is interval notation. Right, this is important because it solved the problem. What?
Why did you put the bracket?
Because infinity is not included. You can't reach infinity. It's not equal to infinity. 1 bracket means including 1, equal to 1. Parentheses means greater than 1. So if you're not sure what I'm saying, this is what I'm trying to say. Bracket would be greater than or equal to. This would be greater than. Right? This bracket right here would be less than or equal to. This would be less than. All right, come on, guys. Let's get to work. Now, on 37, does everybody agree it'd be easier for me to throw the 10 over to the other side because it'll make it positive?
Yeah.
Then I don't have to worry about changing the sign. Everybody okay with that? So I'm moving that over. That becomes positive 10W is less than. Come on now. 10W is less than what? Someone help me. Negative what?
30.
Negative 30. If you saw that, you're in good shape. Now, if you didn't see that, let me just show you again what I did just to make sure. I just added 10W to both sides, added 10W, subtracted 37. That's how I got to that. All right? Now, from there, I have to do what? Divide by 10. So W is what? Less than. Good job. Come on, speak up, man. You got something to say. Let's go. Lisa, you all right over there? Yeah. Joseph, you haven't said much. You understanding me? All right. So if it's less than negative 3, here we go. Here's negative 3. Here's 3 over here somewhere. Less than is open. Heading in what direction? To the left. So my answer in interval notation would be from what? There you have it. Negative infinity to negative 3. Are we good? All right, the more we do, the better we're going to get. All right, that was 17. All right, let me do 18 and 19 now. And it's good because they're fractions. I'm listening.
Why did you put
I can't hear you. Speak
Why
up.
did you put negative?
Because when you read numbers, you go from left to right. Do you hear me? When you read numbers, you go from left to right. So watch me. So it's everything. I'm starting over here, and I'm going this direction, and then I stop at what? I stop at -3. So what is over here? This is negative infinity. You with me? All right, hopefully that makes sense. What?
How does the negative infinity work?
I don't know what that means. How does it work?
What differentiates it from positive? How does
What you're asking me, what's the difference between -3 and +3?
like
Or negative?
does infinity include all the negative ones?
You're
Just all the positive ones.
well, if like in this case, it would only be the positive numbers. The positive big numbers. This is the positive or the negative what? Small numbers.
Okay.
You with me?
Yeah.
All right. Thank you. All right, over here, guys. Number 18. What do I have to do first with 18? Say it. What? -8. Come on. Speak up, guys. Come on. It's boring. Come on, speak up. Might as well speak and get it over with. Subtract 8. Now, some of you, come on now. 11 minus 8. What's that? 3. Do I really have to put -8 minus 8? Or can you just tell me 11 minus 8 is 3? Hopefully, you can tell me 11 minus 8 is 3. All right? So now I have negative z over 3 is greater than or equal to 3. Now, what do I tell me? Wow, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Somebody else is involved. Multiplying it by -3. So now, what happens? Z is what? What operation? Tell them. Tell them. Why? Flip the sign when you multiply or divide by a negative. The sign changes when you multiply or divide by a negative. So this is less than or equal to -9. You have to write that down, guys. Come on. Wow. Some of you guys, man, I'm neatness is going to start counting for some of you. All right, I can't read anything on your paper. So now, here we go. If I'm less than or equal to -9, here is -9, here is 9. Less than or equal to, is it solid or open? Solid, that is correct. And which direction am I going? Right or left?
Right. Or no, left. Because it's
Left, because it's less than. You are less than. You're going to the left. But what, Chloe? Tell me why. You see why I changed the sign?
Yeah.
It's all right. It doesn't matter. As long as you know, that's the only thing I care about. Thomas, are you with me still? Hubble, are you with me today? You know what you're doing? Aiden? Come on now. I'm getting ready to do the next one.
Can I tell you the thing?
Yeah, what is it?
Is it negative infinity and then
Negative infinity what?
not? I thought it was negative.
Why do you think it's not?
Negative. I actually.
I know. Just tell me the answer now. Yes, and is it a bracket or a parentheses? Thank you. Come on, girl. All right, don't worry about it. I don't care if you make a mistake. Good for you, Noah.
What's the difference between bracket?
Difference between a bracket and parentheses. Equal to. If it's a less than or equal to or greater than or equal to, it's a bracket. Everything else is a what? Parentheses. Very good. All right, let's go. Let's check out number 19. All right. Give you 30 seconds. Let's go. Write it down. I want neat work out of you. All right, that's too sloppy. I want you to do neater work also.
All right.
Try. Get busy. You know what you're doing? You good? Like you. Come on. Good job. Ready? Good job, boy. All right. Neater. Thomas is here. You can do neither. Hubble, let me see yours. You doing all right? Good job. Nice. All right, remember, some of you guys are trying to save paper. Don't worry about the paper. All right, use lots of paper. All right? Who cares about saving paper? Saving trees? Are you kidding me?
Trees are stupid.
Let's go.
The Canadian rainforest is suffering.
All right.
Canada. Too much toilet paper.
Let's go. Number 19. Here we go. Shh. Some of you guys are squishing it all on your paper. I can't read anything. All right. Now, what am I doing? First thing. -6. Good. And when I subtract 6, I end up with what? -5/4 p is less than what? 6. All I did was I just subtracted 6, subtracted 6. 12 minus 6 today is still 6.
Yes, it is.
Yes, thank you. Now, how do I get rid of the -5/4 again?
Multiply by the reciprocal.
Yes, we're multiplying by the reciprocal, so we're going to do -4/5. -4/5. Now, this does not divide evenly, so it's going to be a fraction. That's okay to be a fraction. All right? Did we multiply by a negative?
Yes.
So what do I do to the signs? Change them. So P is greater than -24/5. -24/5. All right? Now, greater than -24/5 means we're going to start at what number? -24/5 and go to the right. So we're going parentheses, -24/5 all the way to what? Infinity. All right, that's the interval notation that I'm talking about. Well, to graph a fraction, now don't be confused by graphing a fraction. Again, you're just writing -24/5 and 24/5. And of course, you know -24/5 is -4.8. If you didn't know that, you can just do it on your calculator. Hey, come on, Thomas, pay attention. I'm not done. Say it again. Not even close. They're parentheses because there is no equal to sign. There is no equal to sign. All right, that was 19. Now what I want to do is I want everybody to look at 22, please. We're just going to write these out, and then you're going to solve them. Then I'm going to go down to some of the harder ones, hopefully. 22. All right, Hubble, read me 22. Let's go, quickly. How do I write that? 3/4. Good. If I'm at least 42. Just greater than? Yes, greater than or equal to. Thank you, Hubble. Greater than or equal to 42. That's your job to finish that up tonight. Solve that inequality. Is everybody with me? Okay, 24. Read, let's go. Shh. What sign? 49. All right, I don't think that's hard. I'm going to write that down and finish it up. All right, now I've got 26. Bless you. All right, so here we go. A little bit more difficult. They're starting to put these more on the SATs because they know kids mess these up all the time. All right. Jack, you ready? Cecil? Read.
10 is no more than 4 times.
Hold up. So 10 is no more than, what sign is that? Hold up. If I have no more than $10 in my pocket, what does that mean? Could it be equal to $10? So we would say less than or equal to. 10 is less than or equal to. Continue on. Uh-oh. Now you have a hard one because of this. 4 times the sum. Do you remember what is required when you see two operations? Put your hand down. No. 2 operations. What do I need? What do I need? Carter. No. What do I need? Yay. Good job, girl. You need parentheses. When it says 4, when it says 4 times the sum. Hey, 4 times the sum. Times and sum, 2 operations in a row, requires parentheses. So it's going to be 4, open parentheses. Now, the sum of what? So it would be 2x plus 3. All right? Guys, get to work on those.
And for homework?
No, all of it is homework, guys. Sorry. You got lots of work. 3 through 34. All right, get it done. The other video of the odds is up there. All right, if you're not sure, keep listening to the video. Practice. Solutions are also posted. Take a look at that. And welcome back, Justice. We appreciate you being here, buddy.
And I get it.
I
You
can
did it.
give him a big group hug.
I'm amazing.
In the middle, Justice.